Hi, I thought today I'd do my last tutorial. I'm not particularly good at this kind of thing, so I figured I'd just go ahead and do my last one. And again, it's on the topic of innovation, making up licks, riffs, and even tunes. And today I'll start off by showing another instance of how you can use an existing lick or pattern to develop actually a whole tune out of it. And one day I was playing around with Satan's Doll, kind of the way Chet played it, and then I improvised a little bit, and then that got me to thinking about how to make up a tune out of it. What I got to wondering about was on this part up here in D, how I might work in some harmonics on that. As I mentioned in my previous video, I've gotten to where I like to work in harmonics, not all the time, not in every tune, but I really like trying to work them in a little bit. And so I got to thinking about it. I figured the best way for me to do it would be to play it in D. Actually play it in A minor, but with a D tuning. And the D tuning that I decided to use after experimenting around with the harmonics a little bit was to drop the 6th string to D and to drop the 3rd string to F sharp, which is just 1 fret down from its G normal tuning. And that allowed me to get the partial harmonic tone that I was looking for. And that was in a tune I did called Tricky. I'll play a little bit of it for you. That little harmonic right there was the whole thing I was looking for. And so I tuned to that special D tuning to accomplish that. Now I'd advise you to look at the tune Tricky to see how it was played. And after I did that, then I figured, well, you know, I've got that nice little lick now. I'll flesh it out a little bit into a tune. And it's kind of, you know, some standard D stuff. Some you know, typical Jerry Reed style stuff in that D tuning. And then as I go on a little bit into the tune, the 2nd chorus I do a little bit differently. I do it down farther on the neck. And that's something, you know, I'm kind of learning even at my late stage in life is when you use a chorus twice, it's best to come up with something a little bit different for the 2nd chorus. And I did that in this tune. And again, I'd advise you to look at it. And in my blog, I'll link to it into this tutorial. So again, you know, you can start with an existing lick and come up with a whole tune based on it, as well as just, you know, improvising a little bit like I did. The vast majority of my tunes are ones that kind of just come to me. Who knows how they do that? Maybe through God, maybe through, just my subconscious, and maybe both. Who knows? Who knows how creativity really works? But often after I take a nap, wake up and decide to play the guitar, and there's a tune waiting on me, if you will. Again, speaking of harmonics, one that I came up with the other day after taking a nap was something like. I probably won't publish that one separately. I mean, it's not that long of a tune for one thing, but it brings out a point that, that was a sort of jazzy style, not the typical Chet Atkins style or Jerry Reed style that I'm usually playing. And I think one of the things that helps me come up with that sort of thing is listening to a wide variety of music. I love lots of different kinds of music, from classical to rock to some country, though most country anymore has gotten where it sounds all alike. I'm particularly impressed by it, but my roots are in country music, so I still love it. And in principle, it wasn't so repetitive, but then a lot of rock is repetitive too, so it's a lot of classical. But listening to a lot of different music, I think, broadens your interests in your creativity. Gives you more things to think about. Also, you notice that I played that tune Tricky with a detuning, so I recommend highly that you learn to play in different tunings and experiment with them. And when you're playing, just sitting around playing, take a tune that's one of your favorites and play it in a different key, and maybe even play it in a different tuning, and that'll sort of get your creative juices flowing. It forces you to do something different than you've been doing. So again, I think this is probably my last tutorial. This is not really my thing, if you will, but hopefully it's been useful to you. Take care. Bye-bye.